VR isn't just a genre, it's a medium. I bought and played Elite Dangerous, and boy, do I have things to say about it. It's one of the coolest games I've ever played. I mean, look at this flying, that's awesome. In VR, it's really cool. But it's also got one of the worst tutorials I've ever played in my entire life. Now, I have a question for you. Why is the first person section like this? Why did you let me launch the game in VR only to display my monitor, basically, in VR? Why did you let me do that? Why?
Why?
You can see that when I look at the corners to look at the UI, which would be very normal on a desktop monitor. When you do it in VR, you can't even see the other corner.
What?
This is aim charge port and hold mouse window overcharge the airlock. This is the charge port. I'm in overload and I hold M1. It doesn't do anything because I am out of energy.
I couldn't figure out how to get more energy. For about 5 minutes, I was just wandering around until I eventually looked in the building that I first entered. And even then it was in the dark because the flashlight only works when you have energy.
I found energy cells.
Suit fully charged. Shield online. Leaving pressurized environment.
So this means that I should be able to do it now. Charge port. I'm in overload mode.
I scanned a few bodies, got into the computer with the code I found on the body, and then I went to the next objective, which was another computer in another building. And then I ran out of energy again.
Nice one. We're back in the game. Before you leave, there's a recharge socket on the wall. Top up your battery if you need to.
Got to another computer, fumbled with that for so long, and basically I ran out of energy again. And then I had to fight the space... Are these space pirates? I don't actually know what these are. Then I started fighting space pirates with no shield. The guy told me to turn it on, but I didn't have any power. Again.
Does blue health bar mean ally? No. That's what I
killed him, and then the game just seems to bug out. It says that I have to keep killing more of them, but I can't find any. So I just focus on finding energy again.
What now?
Air levels low.
Yeah, I know the air levels are low. Give me a battery.
Before you leave, there's a recharge socket on the wall.
Okay, you heard what he said. There's a battery socket on the wall. Okay, keep that in mind. I'm gonna move on to something else really quick. Here's a clip from the beginning of the game, The Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners. In this part here, you're talking to someone on the radio and it takes a couple of minutes. You're basically just standing there having a conversation, and if you walk away, the radio stops working, so you had to restart that part of the conversation. Now, the point is, the developers knew you would pretty much be standing exactly right here, looking exactly this direction.
What was that? They coming for you?
The developers, knowing that you could be looking literally any direction, try their absolute hardest to make sure the thing they wanted you to see is actually on your screen. Okay, you heard him? Recharge socket. That's really important. We need that, because we need energy. Now, do you remember what the batteries looked like earlier?
I found energy cells.
Now, to be fair, he called it a recharge socket and not a battery cell. That's pretty fair, except they put the recharge socket across the room in the dark, not in the direction the player would go to leave the building when he suggests to recharge with the recharge socket.
Recharge socket?
Recharging. Shield online.
I found it! I found the battery, Fred!
Good job.
And to add another layer of stupid, he doesn't even tell you to recharge until you're outside, remember?
Before you leave, there's a recharge socket on the wall.
He says, before you leave, after you've left.
What?
Remember earlier how he said I had to kill pirates, but I couldn't find the rest of the pirates? Let's get back to that. I couldn't find the rest of the pirates. There was no reasonable way I should have known where they were.
Who's not that
So
Jupiter?
far. Continuing search.
Yep.
Wait, he's hiding behind a corner.
There's only one hostile left. Take it.
These guys aren't even in line of sight of the computer. Why do I care if they're... Oh my god.
2 of the pirates were like 50 meters away from the computer, the thing that I couldn't interact with until all of the pirates were dead. They made no noise until I walked up to them. They were no threat. I couldn't even see them and they couldn't see me. It was really just the game not allowing me to progress because there were just still some enemies somewhere.
I bet you someone out there is like, you're playing the game wrong. They made it the way that it is correctly, and you should have picked something different.
You do have a habit of like randomly stumbling into the worst possible outcomes of games to where shit's lost when anybody else would have just found it, but it's not your fault. That just happens quite often.
Come on, get in. There's a cold beer waiting for me at 4.
No, that's fucking cringe, him repeating a voice line to get in because I ran out of stamina. What the fuck? Oh, press E to board the ship. Get in the ship. Nah, I can't be that stupid. Oh.
There are stairs leading up to the ship. Don't press E at the top of the stairs. Go to the blue circle on the ground and then press E there, because that makes more sense. This tutorial is a nightmare. The game is cool. I'll probably play it again, but my god, that was a horrendous tutorial for a game. If you're seeing this when it goes live or a few days after, I'll be going live November 10th around 8 p.m. EST. I'll probably be playing Into the Radius. Now, in case anyone who really likes this game watches this video and doesn't care for it because they like the game, and I kind of criticize the game quite a lot, just know you want the tutorial to be good, and things that happen to me will probably happen to other people, and something like a Reddit thread that says don't launch the game in VR if you have the DLC and haven't played the tutorial yet, that's not a good enough excuse. It needs to be baked into the game. I shouldn't have to look up how to play the game before I've played the game. That's what the tutorial is for. Anyways, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.